Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Wengervasio, and today we're going to be covering Chapter 8, Lesson 8.4, Area of a Composite Figure. Reference pages this could be found in your Google Docs or Google Classroom, page 341. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have you go ahead and jot down these formulas. These are very important formulas to know for today's lesson. The first one is going to be the area of a triangle. And then the second one is going to be the area of a rectangle, and the third one, area of a parallelogram. So make sure you copy down all three formulas, okay? Because remember, when we have a composite figure is made up of different types of shapes put together. So let's go ahead and start our first example if you've already copied down the formulas. If you didn't, go ahead and pause it and copy down the formulas. All right. So example one, I have here this composite figure. It almost looks like a basketball court. So it looks like it says here, it is a basketball court. Find the area of the portion of the basketball court shown. So I would like to just find the area of the portion of the basketball. So that means the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see what kind of shapes I have. I noticed that I have a circle. And I have if you look at it, it looks like a rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this in pieces. So the first one I'm going to solve is, I'll go ahead and solve the easy one, which is the rectangle. So I'm going to take the rectangle and I'm going to solve that right here. And I notice that the rectangle has a length of 19 and a height of 12. And if you remember, the area of a rectangle equals A equals length times width. So if you have length times width, my length is 19. My width is going to be 12. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 19 and then I'm going to multiply it by 12. So I'm going to have 19 times 12 is 228. Now, this is only for the rectangle. I repeat, this is only for the rectangle. Now, what happens to this piece here? I also need to figure out what the other part is because we want to find the area of this whole entire piece. So that looks like that's a circle, but since we only need to have a half, I'm going to find the area of a circle first, which is A equals pi, don't forget r squared. And since it's this formula is for a full circle, what I'm going to do later is I'm going to cut that in half. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this, and I'm going to plug in what I know for r. So if I look at this, my r right here looks like it's going to be 12. If that's 12, this is also 12. So I'm going to put 12 here. I'm sorry, not r, but that's going to be the distance here. So that's diameter. Now, r has to be half of 12. So half of 12 will be 6. So 6 squared is going to be 36. So 36 will be multiplied by pi, which is going to be 3.14. So 3.14 times 36 will give you 56.52. Now, because this is going to be for a full circle, I'm going to go ahead and hang on one second. This is going to be for a full, I'm just going to double check an answer. I apologize, not 56.52. It's actually 100 and I multiplied incorrectly. 113.04. 113.04. The answer I gave you earlier is going to be the half circle. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to divide this by 2. Once I divide by 2, then I get 56.52. Okay, so I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 56.52. Now, to find the area of the composite figure, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I have for my rectangle and what I have here for my half circle now, and I'm going to add it. So I'm going to go ahead and add it on the side. I have here 228 plus 56.52, and that's going to give me my final composite area. So that's going to be a total of 284.52. So that would be my final answer for the composite figure. So again, today's lesson is quite easy if you remember how to figure out the area of each shape. So let's go ahead and practice another example. This time I have this figure. It looks like this figure is broken up into a few pieces. So I notice that there is a triangle, a rectangle, and this right here, I'll highlight it in yellow. This right here is a parallelogram. Okay, so be careful. All right, so the first piece we're going to go ahead and do is the triangle. If you look back to your notes, an area of a triangle is going to be triangle equals A equals 1/2. This is from 6th grade, base times height. So where the base is going to be the bottom right here. So my base is 11.2. My height is how high this triangle is. The height of the triangle is 4.5. I'm going to do 4.5. And then I'm going to times that by 1/2. So I have here 11.2 times 4.5. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the side. 11.2 times 4.5 will be 50.04. And then after that, anytime you have a number multiply a half, that basically means that this number 50.4 is cut in half. So cut this number in half by dividing it by 2. Half of 50.4 is 25.2. So this is going to be only for the triangle. Okay. Next we have to figure out is the piece is for the rectangle right here. So I have here the rectangle is going to be length times width. So my length is going to, and that's area. Area equals length times width. So my length is going to be 8. So 8. My width of this rectangle right here is going to be 4.5. So I'm going to multiply this by 4.5. Notice we're just concentrating on this piece right here, the red piece. Okay, so when I multiply 8 times 4.5, I get a total of 36, and that's only for the rectangle in red. Now, this piece right here, this is called a parallelogram, and the formula for a parallelogram is going to be base A equals base times height. Now, base is going to be the bottom. Notice 8 is the bottom. Now, height is always going to be from the top of one corner here to the bottom. We don't measure the height of a parallelogram on the slant. We measure it right here from top to bottom here. So the height is going to be 6.7. And then what we're going to do is going to multiply these two together. So 8 times 6.7 will give you a total of 53.6. And then can you guess what we're going to do next to the numbers that I circled in each section? 36, 53.6, and 25.2. If you guessed it, we are going to go ahead and add them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, we're going to go ahead and take 53. I'll go ahead and do it right here, 53.6, and we're going to take 36, and we're going to take 25.2, and we're going to add them all together. And when you add it all together, that gives you the area of a composite figure, which gives you a total of 114.8. Again, area of composite figure is really simple. All you need to do is find the area of each piece, triangle, rectangle, parallelogram, and then when you find the area of each, you add them all together, and that would be the area of, or area of a composite figure. Okay? All right. I would like for you to go ahead and try these with me, more examples, so that way we're clear. And then I'm going to go ahead and assign the on your own next. So right here, if you notice, go ahead and copy this down. Very important you copy this down because this is going to be your notes for today. We're going to find the area of this rectangle first. So what we're going to do is we're going to do length times width. Let me choose another color. Length times width, which is going to be 9 times 7. So 9 times 7. What's 9 times 7? That's going to be 63. So that's going to be for the rectangle. Then I need to find the area of the triangle. Area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. Notice I always write down my formula so I know what I'm plugging in. So do the same. What's my base? My base is right here. I don't know what that number is, but look up. That's 9. So base is 9. And my height of the triangle is 6. So 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. And then I'm going to times it by 1/2, which means to divide it by 2 or chop it in half. 1/2 times 54. So that's going to be 27. So this is going to be 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 27. I'm going to take 63, add it up. And when I add 23 and 67, I get a total right here. 23, 7 plus 3, Carry is 0. Carry the 1. 6 plus 2 and plus 1 is 9. So the answer is 90. So that's going to be your final answer for the letter A. Okay, let's go ahead and do letter B. For letter B, we have here, it says here, it looks like we have a 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So it looks like we have a square inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do the square on top. That's going to be length times width, length times width. My length is 2 right here. My width is also 2. So 2 times 2. The area of the square is 4. So 4 is 1. Now, it seems like I have 1, 2, 3, 4 half circles. But if you think about it, 4 half circles is really how many full circles? 1 half circle, 2 half circles gives you 1 full circle. So really, I have 2 full circles. So I know the area of a circle is A equals pi r squared, where my r is not 2, but my r is going to be half of 2, which is 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. Pi is 3.14, so I'm going to take 3.14 times it by 1, which gives me 3.14. Now that's for a full circle. But I do have how many full circles? This is a half, this is half, that's 1 full circle. And since I have another half on this side and another half, that's 2 full circles. So this is 1 full circle, but since I have 2 of them, I'm going to multiply it by 2. Again, 2 full circles. 1 here, that's a half and a half is 1. Half here, that's 2 full circles if you were to paste it together. So 3.14 times it by 2 for 2 full circles will give you 6.28. So this 6.28 and the top number 2, 8, and the top number 4, those numbers are going to be added to get you the area of the composite figure. Again, you break them up piece by piece. And notice my 4 is underneath the 6, so I can line it up. So that we have 8, 2, and 10 right here. So 10.28 would be my final answer for this shape for letter B. Okay? All right, I would like for you to go ahead and pause the video for each one. There are a few on your own you have to do, so go ahead and do number 1. If you need more time to do this, pause it and then go on to the next one. So number 1 is here. Okay, now that you're finished with number 1, go ahead and do number 2. If you need more time, pause it to solve number 2. And then here's number 3 and 4. If you need to go back to finish 2, go ahead and rewind it to do 2. And here's 3 and here's 4. If you have questions on 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your own, please ask me tomorrow. And then finally, here's your exit ticket. Okay, questions, please ask me tomorrow, and we will go over these tomorrow. Have a great day.